Six Flags is a chain of parks that, well, without getting into it, or the whole story, is shooting itself in the foot. Their CEO, Salim Basoul, is more or less trying to be a Bob Chapek, who, honestly, why would you want to be that with the reputation he's getting with the Disney park fans? Trust me, if you want to know, look at Disney Twitter. And running Six Flags like a Disney park. More expensive prices on everything. Food, passes, etc. And said on an internal call he wants to push away from the Walmart shopper clientele and pursue the Target shoppers. His words, not mine. The pay more, get less. With that mindset, I didn't have great expectations on any of my 3 visits this season. I was surprised by a few good things and was left scratching my head on plenty of others. So let's get into it. Let's see if Darien Lake got better or worse in 2022. So let's get right into it. I went 3 times. 2 almost full days, and 1 day before a show at the Performing Arts Center next door, just to ride a couple coasters beforehand. Let's start with the first thing, the new season pass format. If you renewed your season pass last year, it expires at the end of August. No Fright Fest, no weekends in the fall, no winter event. And even if you got the next level up like I did, the Thrill Seeker, you got Fright Fest blacked out. But the pass still works through December 31st, if your park is open. We'll see if Darien Lake does another light drive-through thing again. Only if you went with the extreme or higher, it was included. Off the bat, trying to show Fright Fest off as a Disney or Universal hard ticket event is kinda laughable, seeing as there's only 2 haunted houses and it's only for like 4 to 6 nights. Not only that, after the earnings call, they redid the passes again for 2023. Now they're even more expensive, and the rules have slightly changed. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but Chris from Airtime Thrills did a video on this a couple weeks ago, so I'll leave a link in the description below. It more talks about the cost right now with Magic Mountain, but you get the idea from there. The water park, Hurricane Harbor, got the new addition for 2022. The originally for 2020 Wahoo Wave, as well as the rebranding. I really didn't experience the water park outside of the kids' play area, Hooks Lagoon, and the wave pool. The new mural was nice. It did look like they did some minor improvements here and there throughout the water park, but I didn't really spend too much time on it, so I'm not going to dwell on it. As for the main park, they did get some improved landscaping in a few areas, and the new adults-only relaxation zone. They also moved the Six Flags membership and pass kiosk to the front of the park. Other than that, the improvements are few. The thing I noticed was they were attempting to address the long lines and poor ridership numbers. However, their fix was, in my opinion, a very weak fix, and it shows just how much less you're getting. Almost every flat ride cycle is less than a minute. The Haymaker, Pirate Ship, Corn Popper, Scrambler. I went to Niagara Amusement Park and did the Scrambler the day after being at Darien and doing it. The length of the ride at Niagara was at least 3 times the length of the one at Darien. Every ride I'm showing clips of, I started recording just as it almost hit its max and stopped right as it's slowing down. This is apparent in the Pirate Ship, as if you listen closely, you can hear the motor stop. I also gave Rolling Thunder a round, and for all you Larson Looper fans, you can keep these, they're not for me. But I found the ride cycle to be plenty long for this ride, surprisingly. Also, the antique cars ran with a maximum of 3 cars on a weekday, and well with over a 30-minute line. And the ride op said to another guest, they run 4 usually on a weekend. There were over 12 just sitting around off the track. They could have at least ran 5 each day to help with the capacity and throughput. This is not how I would run an amusement park, or the best way to give your guests an enjoyable time. Yes, did we get on more stuff afterwards? Sure. But the line was kind of ridiculous. Also, Shipwreck Falls is a gem. The park could use a few more water rides outside of the water park. I hope maybe we will get another one in the future, but I don't bet anything on that. This is the last of the 3 that exist here. So I think, if anything, we need to watch out for this. Although, I think they'd be pretty dumb to get rid of it. The coaster ops were about the same, if not slightly better than last year. Viper's crew was the same, although the ride seemed to be a bit jankier than the last year in the transitions, but it's nothing to complain about for a 40-year-old Arrow. It still ran smooth, still had great forces, still an enjoyable ride. Tantrum ran just as smooth as always, but the ops were slower than they were last year with the loading and unloading of the trains. A little concerning, but I'm hoping I just visited on an off day. Mind Eraser. I only got one ride, and it wasn't that bad. Still had all the shakes and rattles you have come to love and expect with a suspended looping coaster. The new trains did help a bit. I got a back row ride, and aside from a rattle through some of the transitions, it was a reasonably enjoyable ride. Predator. Well, if you want to know my opinions on that, you're just going to have to wait for the full review for that one. I will say this though. I was very impressed with the new for 2022 Titan track added to the death turn on the ride. Ride of Steel added bins outside of the line and pay lockers to help operation and dispatch times. Now, if you bring anything to the platform, it has to go on with you. Nothing can be left off to the side. While this did improve the operation slightly, and I don't think I waited more than maybe 20 minutes any of the 2 times I got to visit, it still suffers due to the way they have to check the restraints to make sure the train dispatches. However, I did feel that the ride did run smoother and slightly faster than years prior. Other than that, I didn't get on any other coasters. The days we went, we had the little ones, and I found myself wondering if maybe that's the park's biggest gap now. A family coaster, and more rides to bridge the gap between the 48-inch higher requirement for the coasters, lasso, and so many other rides. Only the sleigh ride, Corn Popper, and Rowdy's Ridge rides have rides that they can go on with an adult. As much as I want a big, new, shiny coaster, I think we need to fill in the family lineup and bridge that gap before we can even talk about, say, an S&S Free Spin, a Raptor, or heck, could we please maybe get a B&M here someday soon? Overall, I enjoyed my days at Six Flags Darien Lake. However, I don't think I'm going to be renewing my pass next year. Maybe I'll visit for the occasional off day before a concert. I'm just leaning against it. Between the reduced hours, no new attraction, and the increased prices, I don't think I can justify it. If this year was any indication, we don't know exactly what they have in store, and I don't even think they have a clue what they're doing. They're just trying to recoup their money, and I don't know if that's going to end up good in the long term. Truthfully, I could see Six Flags dumping Darien Lake off like every other operator has that have managed this park. Well, that's going to do it for this video on my 2022 perspectives of Six Flags Darien Lake. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you like this content and you want to see more stuff like this, consider subscribing to the channel and checking out our other videos. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the parks.